So we're gonna let some folks pile in,
Yes.
and then we'll get started up. So let's just chat. How you been, man?
Man, I've been just ridiculously busy. There's just so much stuff happening all at once, and I mean, it's like really boring to say, but because it seems so cliche, but it's just a lot of things happening at the same time, and I'm having to do a lot, pretty much all of it. So, and that's as far as Southern Gunner is concerned. Other than that, it's peachy. It's great.
Brett. So looks like we got a couple people in here.
Awesome. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to actually find us on a different computer so I can see the chat. And
Sly Fox Tactical is shocked that he had the first comment. What's up, Joe? How you doing, buddy? How's the weather up in Idaho, man? Hey, Bradley. Outpost. Huh? That's hilarious. What's up, Corey? So we're going to go ahead and just chat for a couple minutes, let some people pile in, and then we're going to dive right into BattlBox Mission 28, chat about some of the gear that's in the box, kind of do a live review, essentially. And then we're just going to hang out for a little bit. We're going to keep this to about an hour and 20, somewhere around there. And yeah, that's what's up. So I just got off the water. I actually pulled my kayak out of the water at noon, drove a half an hour to get to my house, and then started setting stuff up. So, I mean, it's like dirty in here, and, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, I'm lucky I made it on time.
Okay. Yeah, it's my day was not as eventful as yours. I basically woke up and did a post on Instagram, and then just kind of waited for breakfast to happen, and took a shower, and that's it. So not very eventful, but it was good, man. It's a good Sunday so far.
Good deal. Good deal. All right, so let's go ahead and chat. So BattlBox Mission 28. You're a Pro Plus subscriber, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I have been since beginning, since Mission 1, really. Yeah, I'm kind of one of them OGs.
Yeah, so all of those boxes, dang, that's quite a bit. That's over 2 years.
Yeah.
So I started up, I think it was Mission 9 was my first mission. Yeah.
Like your actual mission, or was it your welcome box and your first mission was Mission 10?
I think that was my first mission. It was the one with the seed vault in it. So I think that was Mission 9. It might have been 10. I'm not positive.
Okay. Huh. I can't remember them. It's been almost 30 missions, and I'm trying to think about the items, and I used to have it down packed, man, up until like Mission 15, and then after that, just I couldn't remember crap. But it's Mission 28 on the docket. So, what do you think, man? I mean, it's I loved it. My initial impression was like, wow, that is some killer stuff, especially the basic loadout, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, basic got a great value. And this was probably the most requested theme in a long time. I mean, people have been talking about this for over a year, you know what I mean? So the theme is urban survival. And let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and start top to bottom with the basic. I got a sit rep card right here. If you guys haven't got your box yet and you don't want to know what's in it, this is the wrong place to be. I don't know why you're here. So, but we hope you stay. So, somebody asked what I'm drinking. I'm kind of drinking a little bit of just a soda, and I also have a Kona longboard. I am going to keep it light because as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to go hit the kayak again, and I got to drive to get there. And I know, got to be safe.
Yeah, I just went ahead and answered what I'm drinking in a chat while you were talking. I didn't want to interrupt, but I am indeed drinking the original Pepsi, the hard stuff, none of that diet crap in this house. Dignity, man. That's where I got to keep up.
Well, I do enjoy myself a Diet Dr. Pepper, so sorry. And sorry, Zach. All right, so first things first, there was a folding knife in Basic. So a real genuine folding knife in the Basic box, and it was the Kershaw shovel. Do you have one with you? Mine's locked up in a vault so that I can't open it. There you go.
Yes, I do actually, and quite pleased with it. I really like Kershaw as a brand. I mean, it's like, that whenever you get a Kershaw, you at least get the dependability of their knives. And, they're not like the high range cost knives, but they're really, really good regardless. And I do happen to like this one. Of course, the bottle opener has a lot to do with it because, you can never have enough of bottle openers in your house or anywhere else. But yeah, I'm very pleased with this one. So
yeah. I have a couple of those actually. So I have the first gen shuffle, which is that, and then I have the second generation shuffle, the Shuffle 2, and I actually like the Shuffle 1 way more than I do the Shuffle 2. So for whatever it's worth, that was a $13.47 value, and like you mentioned, like Kershaw is just. It's not one of those brands that's going to blow your socks off with super high quality steel and micarta handles and stuff like that. But it's one of those deals where they're affordable. You know what I mean? So you can go buy a decent knife for 20, 30, 40 bucks. In fact, one of my favorite folding knives, like small pocket knives, is the Kershaw Canon Elite. I love that knife. It's awesome.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely Kershaw's.
And pretty cool that one of those made it into a box. Any way you cut it, you know what I mean? A basic box. So moving on. The next item is one that, some people might not know exactly what a Silcox key is or what it's for. And why you would want one in an urban survival kit. I think I kind of covered that pretty good on my little review video. What are your thoughts on a Silcox key?
Yeah, I agree. I think you did a great job on your video with it. It is one of those items that some people may not know what they're for. I've actually had one for a couple of years now, and it's been in my loadout. So I was quite aware of it, and I guess I now have a spare. So it's definitely a good thing because in my mentality, it's two is one is none kind of a deal. So but yeah, I mean I think it's a great deal to have. I mean it hits urban survival to the T, and definitely glad to see it in the box for sure.
Yeah, and in my opinion, of all the stuff that was in the basic box, this is probably the most important one, just because with it you can easily find water in a in a urban situation, so
Right,
in a survival situation.
cool. Definitely.
You want to do the next one?
Yeah, sure. Let's gotta grab my card. What was the next item on there? Yes. One of my favorite items in basic, if not, well, it's kind of hard to pick a favorite item from the box overall because a lot of them are just really awesome in their own way. But this, let me get this centered in. It's kind of weird working on my camera here. But so this is what's the brand of it? I had the box somewhere. Of course, when I need it, I can't find it. But It is basically just an EDC pocket tool. Oh, there it goes. By Timberline. That's what I wanted to say. Shit. So I am a big fan of these little widgets and EDC tools. I think I have a very large collection of them, and big fan of this one. I mean, it's got the basics covered. I like that it actually has a blade on it, which typically those kind of things don't have one. And of course the bottle opener, because that's just the key item, the key accessory for any occasion. And what really makes this situation really nice is the Kydex sheath, right? I think that's a great bonus to this item itself. And it comes with a little keychain attachment. Very nice.
Yeah. And it's a nice fit in the Kydex. Just locks in really well. I'm probably going to take the key ring off and maybe put some small cord through there, and because I don't like stuff that jingles, Yeah. It's the hunter in me. I don't like noisy stuff. So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to use it as a keychain. I'm probably just going to put it in like the watch pocket of your jeans. That's probably where I'm going to end up keeping mine. And I'm planning to bring it on a rotation, as soon as I'm done doing a write up on Instagram with it. So yeah, very, very good tool. I think.
Right.
Looks like a good quality as well.
Yeah, it does look pretty good quality. So then the next item up was from Ready Man. The cost on that was $7.99, $8, which seems totally fair. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's more than fair.
So the next thing up was from Ready Man. Came in this little card holder, which you could use this to fit a couple of your Ready Man cards in. And I think everybody knows. Well, not everybody, but some of y'all probably know. I have been somewhat critical of Ready Man in the past.
Yeah.
And yeah, we can just leave it at that.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because in my opinion, my humble opinion, let's say, I rather enjoy the Ready Man cards, possibly with the exception of like the skewer one, which I thought was kind of maybe lacking something. But I actually, as far as like all the other cards are concerned, we had was it the survival, the fishing, the medical. I thought those cards were really cool, and I think the problem with those cards isn't actually in their function, but in the fact that they're not saying that this isn't your plan A stuff, this isn't your plan B stuff even. This is like, you put a couple of these in your wallet, and if you find yourself somewhere, say just figured if somebody just kidnapped you, dropped you off in the middle of the woods, and you got nothing, but they forgot to take your wallet, and you just happen to have those cards in the wallet. In that situation, you at least have something. You at least have some kind of a piece of steel that you can make a hook out of, or and that's, I think that's what the cards really would shine. Not in a sort of a well, you can't survive with these things on, so in that situation in particular, I think they would work great. And keeping that in mind, I guess, is what allows me to like them for what they are. But yeah, I would definitely not make this my plan A or plan B item under any circumstance.
Right. I was sitting there shaking my head a little bit.
I saw that, man. What's going on? Like that?
How often is somebody gonna pick you up, kidnap you, drop you in the middle of the woods, and not take your fucking wallet, man? I mean, at least not check your wallet. Anyways, I
couldn't come up with a better. I couldn't come up with a better scenario on the fly, But
yeah, one of these days, what I need to do is I need to tie on one of those hooks that's in with the Ready Man fishing, hunting, or whatever it was, survival card. and see if I can actually catch a fish with one of those hooks, like test it out. Because I don't know of anybody in the world that's ever caught a fish with one of those hooks. So
Maybe
maybe one of these guys has. Have any of you in the peanut gallery, any of you guys caught a fish with one of those hooks? So let me know in the comments. Okay, this card I think is actually pretty cool. At first when I saw it, I was like, that's dumb, you know what I mean? But the more I think about it, the more I think it's pretty cool. And I need to test one out, but I don't have a lock that I don't mind breaking or becoming useless. So one of these days, I'm gonna have to test this out somewhere where it doesn't really make a big deal if I can't get it out. But this is it. This is the Readyman Access Denial card. The value on that stamped piece of metal is $12.95. And basically what you're doing is sticking one of those into a lock, and basically it makes the lock useless. Do you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, basically, I mean, just like you said, one of these, the arrow, kind of the pointy end of one, you put one of those into the lock, and what it does is it blocks the tumbler from being accessed with a key. Because naturally, I mean, even though as thin as it is, there's no way that you're going to be able to put a key into that lock and operate and unlock it. Of course, like somebody with my kind of, situational intensity, I would probably just start kicking the shit out of that door until it opens. But, if I wanted to do it peacefully, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to. And what I like about it is that which is the least they could have done is added the retraction tool for the.
I think one of those is a retraction tool, isn't it? One of them you stick in, and the other one you use to pull out. Is that right?
Right. So the one with the arrow is the one that locks it in. You put that arrow down, or well, depending on how your lock is set up. But the one with that little arrow on the tip, you put that in to block it, and then you use that sort of a straight key to kind of help you wiggle out that that part out. So yeah, I mean it's a cool idea. I think it may be one of their better cards. I think it just makes a lot of sense, and it works. I think it can work in the platform that it is made. Being a thin stainless steel piece of metal. So like you were talking about the hooks. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would take the time to test them out. But this card in particular, I would probably mess around with a few times, and I plan to.
So yeah, everybody's bashing them in the comment section. I actually do think that this is probably one of the cooler concepts. And the fact, it sounds like, BattlBox, the team over there went to Readyman, and they have a really good relationship. We've talked about that on previous live streams. But anyways, they have a really good relationship. They said, hey, this is our theme for this month. Can you come up with any thoughts? And they collaborated on it. So that's pretty cool. Of all of their cards, this one is probably the one that I think is the coolest. I need to test it out though. So let's move on to the next item. And it is the fuel pump. What are your thoughts on the fuel pump?
Well, kind of reminds me of one of those Swedish, never mind. But no, I think it's brilliant of them to put this into the box. Siphoning gas or whatever is I think it's a part of urban survival that having one of these in your pocket when you need it, it's a good deal. So I absolutely like the idea of it being, especially in a basic box, And from what I see, it's very well made. Yeah. Got hoses. I know. I think it's a good deal. I think siphoning is something that needs to be a part of your skill set. Absolutely.
Yeah. So basically, here it is. I'm kind of putting it together on the fly. But what you would do is one of the hoses goes into a fuel tank. So it's nice that they're long hoses. You know, you're able to slide it in, feed it into a fuel tank. The other one would go into a can, like a gas can, or shoot a 2-liter bottle, whatever you've got around to haul your gas, you know, or whatever it is you're pumping. They also have different attachments. They have some smaller hoses, and those hoses do require adapters. The adapters are all included. And I've heard that they included an adapter that you can also use this to pump up a tire.
Huh.
So
that's interesting.
I think right here, I believe.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It looks like an air pump adapter.
Oh yeah.
You tell me. What do you think?
No, that's it, man. That is I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you, when I was going through this stuff. And but wow, what a clever twist to an already cool item.
And I think there's another one in there that you can use to like pump up like an air mattress or something inflatable. I think that's
it's just like a simple phone.
Yeah, this one right here. So
yeah, and one of those sleeves is an adapter for it. So depending on what kind of a mattress you've got, I guess. Yeah, that's really clever. I mean, you know, siphon on itself by itself is a great deal, but all these little tidbits, all these little couplings and ends, that make it just that much cooler, I think. So yeah, man, I should just. I'm probably gonna end up making it a part of my my in-car bug out kit that I have. You know, I think
right
in there.
You live outside of Houston, right?
Yes.
Are you in a rural area? Do you work in an urban area? What's your situation with that?
Well, I live in a more or less well, it's not exactly the country. It's just like it is suburbia that's kind of set out for now, out in the open almost, away from the, you know, hustle and bustle of the big city. And you know, we still kind of look at it as it's country, but it's growing, and it's only going to be a matter of time before Houston, you know, catches up to us and just kind of, you know, swallows us whole.
Yeah.
And do, because the growth is just ridiculous around here. Like, I am about an hour away from downtown, and from downtown Houston, and the city just keeps expanding and expanding year by year, just swallowing all the little cities around it. So it's kind of crazy, but you know, being that we're in the middle of the energy corridor with all the oil and gas situation going on, you know, this is the place to be. And so where I work at is actually in the city, so I have a hell of a commute in the morning and afternoon as well. So an urban kit for me is, you know, it's how I pretty much set up my EDC right now. It's for an urban survival. I have my EDC pack, and it's just filled with, you know, urban type of items, or urban survival type of items that would, you know, aid me in coming back home from work, in case, you know, the Russians come and drop a nuke on us or something.
Or that little Korean fat guy decides to launch an EMP or something. So my situation is a little bit similar. I live kind of in the suburbs, but kind of it's outside of basically the suburbs. I'm pretty far out of the Bay Area, but at any given time, I could be in San Jose with a customer, San Francisco, Oakland. I mean, just all sorts of different urban environments, and then have to essentially hike my way home if there was a situation where I couldn't drive home. And it would be, I've thought about it, and it'd be like a 3-day trek. So my get home bag is set up for 3 days, and you know, all that stuff. And there's a Silcox key in there. I don't know if a pump would make sense. I guess it would. You know, you could siphon gas from somebody's car, and yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you just never know when you could use it. I mean, I think having it in the car is a great idea because, you know, obviously that's exactly what you would need it for if you were in a gas siphoning business, you know, at the moment. So I think it just makes sense to me to keep it in there rather than in like a bug out. You know, preferably it would be good to have 2 of those pumps available, so you can have one in the car and one in the bug out. But yeah, I mean, I definitely see a lot of potential with it, you know. And yeah, I mean, you know, the air pumping situation for your tires or anything else, I think it's a good, you know, sort of a last ditch effort. I mean, if you could imagine just having to, you know, manually pump up a car tire, you know, that would probably take a lot of time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at least it's a means, you know, that you otherwise may not have, because not many people actually carry air pumps in their cars.
Right. Okay, so the next and last item, I guess there's another one after this, but I don't really ever count it, is the e-tool, the entrenching tool. Comes in this little carry bag, and it's pretty light. And yeah, it is a 2-piecer.
Yes, it's a 2-piece. It's a 2-piece, and what I appreciate about it is that it's sticking to the unmentioned theme of this box, I think, which is many different ways you can open a bottle of beer with. So I appreciate a bottle opener on my shovel, because I can't think of a situation where I was digging something and thought about, man, I wish I had a beer.
I can think of a couple situations where I wished I had a beer when I was digging stuff. So multi-configuration, pretty easy to figure out and use. The thing that I like about this e-tool over other e-tools is that it's small. You know, so it's not going to take up a huge area in your pack. You know what I mean? You can put it in there. It's pretty light. You're not going to have to worry about hoofing it all over, you know, God's green earth on your way to get home. It's not too heavy. It's not going to take up a lot of room.
Yeah, and I mean the multiple uses you can have for this shovel are just, you know, ridiculous. The fact that it's so small is, you know, right off the bat you're thinking hand-to-hand combat, right? Outside of having to dig through and cut through things. You know, it's I think it was Sly Fox who was talking about on this video that you can actually use it as a storage compartment within the handle, right? It looks like you can shove a couple of things in there, and I like that as well. Another characteristic that I appreciate about this shovel here is the grip. Not so much the material it's made of, but the fact that it actually tells you that it is 12 inches, because I think on the fly I'd like to know that information. I don't want to have to guess, so I appreciate that almost as much as I appreciate the bottle opener. But I think it's a great tool, man. I think it's a great quality. I'm definitely gonna be putting that in my kit, in my BOB.
I'll just say there are higher quality e-tools out there. But you've got to keep in mind, this is in your basic box and it made it into a box. You know what I mean? And some of the higher quality ones, I mean, they run what, like $100. You could pay $100 for an e-tool. This is perfectly fine quality, in my opinion. So I'm not complaining about it. I'm just kind of saying it's not the best e-tool that you could go buy on the market, but it's the best one for this box because it's the one that made it in it. You know what I mean?
It's honestly, I mean, you know, if you're wanting a brand on your retrenching tool, you know, that's particular, I guess that's cool. But honestly, before I look at the brand, I look at the overall craftsmanship and, you know, how well it's made. And I think that the entrenching tool doesn't really have anything that I can say that's negative. Actually, it also has a compass on the end of that handle I forgot to mention, which is another cool deal. But I mean, really, I can't find anything in this entrenching tool to pick on. I mean, it even comes with a belt loop on that sheath. So, I mean, really, yeah, you can spend, a lot more money on maybe getting like a mil-spec one, or, I actually ended up buying a while back a virtual Spetsnaz shovel, and I spent good money on it. So they probably make it for like 5 cents a piece, but damn thing is indestructible. And but I mean, so what? There's actually nothing wrong with that one, and actually, it's the one that I would more than likely put in my pack just because it's so compact.
Yeah, it is. That's some of the big key features for me are it's compact and it's lightweight. My only concern, and you probably wouldn't ever encounter it because you're probably never going to be using it a whole lot, but is that some of the metal might be a little bit thin and bent. But other than that, I mean, I think that it's a fair shovel, and that rounds out your basics. So for $25, you got the fuel pump, the Silcox key, the EDC tool, the Kershaw shuffle, and the access denial card, the e-tool, if I didn't say that already, and then you got your ReadyMan basic membership. So overall, I mean, what do you think? The freaking basic box subscribers are making it pretty interesting. I mean, they're pretty cool stuff,
Yeah, I think the winner of this box is basic, honestly. I mean, it's so many items, all of really good quality. You have pretty much a lot of C's you can cover with the items you get in basic. The value just speaks for itself versus the cost. Very clever items, usable items. I really have nothing bad to say about any of it so far. They hit the topic perfectly.
Right.
And I think it's a very, very, very well-rounded basic box.
Right. It seems like the items in the Advanced Pro and the KOTM, the Pro Plus, are almost like added benefits. You know what I mean? Like some boxes, it's almost like those are really critical to rounding the box out. You know what I mean? Those levels. This level, the basic, I mean, it's freaking awesome. There's so many good things in there. These other ones just make it better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really does feel like the starter kit for the urban survival, packing list, so to speak.
Yeah.
And everything is just, a supplement.
Okay, let's keep moving. Let's go to the next item. Jeez. And that's the
ReadyMan Basic.
ReadyMan Gray Pack. What's up?
I was saying the ReadyMan Basic membership renewal because we haven't spoken about that much.
You can talk about it. What do you want to say?
Not much. I think that we should just go ahead and move on to the ReadyMan Grayman Pack.
Okay. Have you been on their website lately?
No, I have not. I've been on their website and kind of browsing through it, I was just sort of doubly informed with things I kind of already knew. Now, I don't consider myself to be, the Bear Grylls of, West Texas or anything like that, or South Texas. But I do have a bit of knowledge that I have gathered over the years. And nothing that I saw in there, or really any of the, I guess you can call them tools that would, that are meant to sort of teach you organizing and just kind of keeping things in check. None of that really spoke to me at all. And honestly, depending really on the situation, when it comes down to like an SHTF situation, depending on what's causing it, I think that organization is going to be the first thing that's going to get thrown out the door, because the chaos that's going to ensue, it's probably going to make you forget things. It's probably going to, make you, make some rash decisions. You can train all you want. You can train all you want. You can organize all you want. You can have an index on everything that you have in your house. But, when the chips are down, you'll be lucky if you're able to grab your backpack and get the hell out of Dodge ASAP. So I think, in that scheme, I don't think it's really something that I'm going to rely on as far as learning goes. But, I think it could be of benefit to people that are just getting started,
Right. And I wouldn't consider myself like a prep, hardcore prepper or anything. If anything, I'm just an amateur, just getting into this stuff. But I think that the wealth and breadth of knowledge that is available on the BattlBox forums is pretty amazing. And they have a forum, I think, as part of their website. I can't remember. And just comparing the two, the BattlBox forum is awesome. So let's move on. The Ready Man pack. And this is a gray man pack. Was yours gray or black? Because I saw one, I thought, in a video that was black.
No, man, mine was also gray. That's supposed to be some sort of a pun.
Right.
You can't.
What do you think about this thing?
Well, honestly, I'm kind of a fan of it. It's not the strongest looking backpack, but I think it will be a great backpack for a beginning EDC survivalist or urban survivalist. I like the fact that it's not loaded with Molly, systems all over the place, and it kind of looks incognito, and it doesn't look alarming to would-be marauder, trying to size you up to see what you got in there, right?
Okay.
So, and that, I think it's a great deal. I think that they've done a great job with all these side pockets here, giving you an option to maybe put a pistol of some sort, like just kind of keeping it there on your back, and when you need it, you just kind of flip it over and take it out.
Right.
So I think it's a good deal overall. I'm kind of happy with it.
In fact, you probably could actually, if you could, I don't know, maybe you couldn't. I was thinking you could possibly sew on some Velcro to keep or somehow that you could actually keep a pistol from sliding around too much. Although the size of that pocket is, really good pistol size anyways. So something like that could work. And then to me, I'm going to open it up now. And so everybody close your ears because this is so freaking loud when it opens. And that's my only thing I don't like about this pack is that, oh my gosh, that's freaking loud. Isn't that so loud?
Yeah, I did try that, and it's possibly a little bit excessive.
Yeah.
But at least you get a good secure kind of a close down, so your gear's not going to fall off. I could see me backpack in conjunction with like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So I would appreciate the crap out of it being there, you know, that's strong.
That's true. Very true. Something I like about it is that you do have some loops right here that you could use with a molly, like a soft fabric, like a condor mag pouch. You know what I mean? Something like that, where you could actually have your extra mags in here. So you could carry some extra mags and not have all this stuff on the outside, you know, super tactical-ish, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, you know, there's definitely a couple of options on this backpack, you know. I think you can find a lot of different latching points on it where you could actually potentially add some things if you wanted to, like these little loops right here, or you know, of course we should mention the bungee in front. All that could be, you know, used in a way where you could, you know, go beyond storing whatever this backpack allows on its own. This flat bucket here is kind of cool too for like an admin situation, but yeah, I mean, it's a decent backpack. I think it's a great effort, and it's at minimum, it's a great starter's backpack.
Right, I agree. I think the price that they value it at, and I don't know if this is what they're selling it at, what they're selling it for on their website, but $40. I mean, to me, that's totally fair. I would have almost expected to see this around the $60 range. So to see it at $40 on as an MSRP, thought that that was very realistic and almost generous valuation in a way. So we can move on. I think that this pack is a good item. So then next up is the Ontario Knife Company Parapry, and I thought it was cool that you got 2 items from Ontario Knife Company. What did you think about getting 2 different prying tools?
Well, I think that you know, let's see. Let's kind of. I shouldn't put them together right now. Maybe I'll do them. I'll put them side by side at the Pro for those of you, for the sake of not creating a spoiler. I don't know why I think that matters, but just so we don't confuse people on you know, which level we're talking about. But I think, you know, there are small doors and there are big doors, and I'm happy that I have an option for either one. I am kind of upset that they didn't include a bottle opener on this pry bar.
Shut up, dude.
Real estate on here. It's completely unused. But
oh gosh.
Other than that, I think it's a great deal. And you know, like I said before, time and time again, 2 is 1, 1 is none. And you know, this is my EDC. The other one's going to be my BOB. It works for me. It really does.
Right. And
especially
go ahead.
Made by a company. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that, especially with with both of them being made by Ontario Knife Company. I mean, that's a big plus. They make great stuff, and I expect this bar to do great in real life. So. Right.
So it is made of 1064, I think it was 1064 high carbon steel. I think it says that somewhere. But you could theoretically sharpen these. If you're going to use it as a pry bar mainly, you're not going to want to sharpen it, just because that's going to make that edge really easy to chip and snap off. And, you know, and then, you know, you've got a semi-functional non-cutting edge pry bar just because it's broken. But you could sharpen it if you thought that was what's best for you. They did throw in about 6 feet of paracord, which is cool. And I need to watch a few videos on what wrap to put on. So hopefully somebody, or look at a tutorial on the BattlBox forums. Hopefully somebody's got something up. because I think it would be nice with a good paracord wrap. Although there are some folks that have talked about, I think it was Sly Fox talked about putting on wood handles on this. So that's always an option, or some micarta or something. So
yeah, great idea actually.
yeah,
I agree.
And so with the paracord, that item and the backpack, that was your advanced box, $50, and you got $159 in value. And arguably, I think you could make a case that the backpack itself is worth $50. I could argue that. So
yeah, I mean, I could see that. And I mean, the difference between advanced and basic is $25. I think that it's the value is way in there. I mean, it's definitely beyond. There's nothing, there's nothing questionable at all,
right,
so far.
Exactly. So the Pro, and this one is pretty cool. This is the only item in the Pro, and this is the Ontario Knife Company QAB, the Quick Access Breacher. So essentially another pry bar. I don't know if you noticed, but some of the angles on this leading edge and then this edge as well, they're, I don't know, I guess you would say not sharper ink. Well, it's sharper, you know what I mean? It's not as blunt. So that could be good actually if you're trying to chop around a lock on a door, a wood door, something like that. You'll be able to set it up and possibly, I don't know if you could really hammer on this because the pommel side has that breaker right there. But, theoretically you could get on it and get in there because it's a little bit sharper, even though it's not sharp. And as mentioned before, you could sharpen this if you wanted to. I'm going to leave mine dull.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. I wouldn't sharpen these at all. The funny thing is there's a product already out there. It's made by Kabar, and I've actually made a post out of it once before, a long time ago actually. And it's called I think it's called a Master Key. And that one has sharpened edges, and it's a little bit bigger than this one. But and they're saying that it may aid you in breaking in through the door if you have to maybe chop around the hinges of the door or something, if you're looking at a wooden door or something.
Right.
But in this particular, I don't think sharpening it is necessary at all. I mean, I think for wedging it in between door locks and trying to kind of pry the door open, I think it's going to do just fine. I do enjoy the micarta scales on it, and as well as the skull crusher, as I call it, here on the bottom. I think it's a great tool. Ontario, again, very, very reputable company. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me, and I'm definitely gonna keep it dull as far as the edges are concerned. Yeah, and this is the difference, I guess, in size between one and the other.
And you can see the angle on the two grinds. One of them is kind of like I don't know the right term, but one of them, this one right here, that angle is more steep. Is that the right way to put it? And this one is more of a gradual angle, which makes it a sharper edge, I guess.
You can say less aggressive, or you can say less tapered.
Yes, less tapered, more tapered. And I kind of like the more tapered one. And there's a little interesting tidbit about this one. This is actually from the mind of Daniel Dabbs. As scary as that sounds, it's actually basically his design. So he sketched up this drawing of a breaching tool that he wanted in this box, sent it to or talked to the owner of Ontario Knife Company, was like, hey, is this something maybe you could do? And basically, sent it off to them, the sketch. the engineers there, I think, were probably thinking, oh, great, you know, because they probably get that all the time. And then looked at it and was like, yeah, that's something I can work with. And basically what we're holding in our hands is the design that, you know, Battle Dan came up with, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, he likes to get involved with these projects, which, you know, I kind of admire, all honestly. And you know, this being his design, you know, kudos to him. I mean, I think he's made a solid tool. Yeah, I definitely like it. And again, my only gripe is no bottle opener on this as well. So let's not give him too much credit.
If you couldn't open a bottle with that as it is, I mean, here, I'll go do it right now. I'm due for another beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's, you know, I just feel like it's a pry bar. So, you know, you can pry open a beer bottle with it. You should be able to. All right, Chris is out. So it's back to me now. I'm going to try to catch up with some of the things on chat. I'm actually kind of neglecting that. Unfortunately, probably missing a lot of gold.
They're used to being neglected. Okay, here we go. Let me move my keyboard a little bit.
Use the pry bar end, dude.
Huh?
You're doing it wrong.
No.
Use the pry bar end.
I don't know. I kind of want to use that pommel end. Yeah, buddy.
Boom.
Cheers.
You're doing. Cheers, brother.
All right. Okay. That value right there, 99, 95, and to get something like that made of these materials, this again is 1064. Let me look at the card really quick. I think it says.
Well, it's definitely carbon steel because it's phosphate coated.
Yeah, 1074 high carbon. You know, great materials, micarta, you know, good design. And I think, yeah, I know that as BattlBox subscribers, we're the first ones to be able to get our hands on this. So another great tool. 1074, as Mr. Curran just said. All right. These guys are funny in the chat. So that is your Pro Box. The next level is the knife of the month, and it too is one item. Go for it.
Excuse me. Oh, we're doing the Pro Plus knife of the month. That being the Overgrid Tool Survival.
Yep. So
Actually,
made in the USA. I like seeing that right on the side. They didn't hide the fact that it's made in the USA. Off-grid tools, survival axe, lots of really cool functions built into this bad boy.
oh yeah.
And originally in my video, I talked about possibly sharpening this edge a little bit, but then it was brought up in the comment section by Fireman Swanee, who's in the BattlBox forums as well. I believe it was him. Yeah, it was. He basically was like, look, dude, you can sharpen it if you want, but that edge as it is intended for cutting through metal, actually. Like blunt force cutting through thin metal, whether it's an overhead door or a car door, you know, something like that. These are not this tool exactly, but tools like this are used a lot by fire departments when they respond to an accident. So.
Right, and I agree with that. I don't necessarily think it needs to be sharpened. I mean, it could be, but this is an urban survival, right? So we're not necessarily going to be in the woods, you know, trying to start a fire. We're going to be trying to, you know, get out of cars or get into cars whatever the case might be. And I think that not sharpening that edge is a proper thing to do. It's definitely the right course of business. So I agree with that assessment 100%.
So it comes with quite a few different tools. This one, my buddy Southern, it does have a bottle opener right here. So
yes, finally they have redeemed themselves for not including a bottle opener within the last two levels. You know, I think provided with many surfaces on this tool that could potentially open a bottle. So I'm happy to see it. You know, my it's been my gripe throughout Advanced and Pro, but wow, what a way to end it.
So this does have a hacksaw blade that flips out. I've heard a little bit of hubbub about some concern about the lock. I think that you'll be all right. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, so this is a replaceable blade. You could always carry backups if you wanted to. I'm not quite sure how you do the replacing on it. If you have to unscrew all of the screws in the handle to open that up, that might be the case. But
possibly.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. But I like the angle on it. So you know, you're gripping back here and you're sawing. That angle seems like it would be a good angle. And I like that you'll be able to cut metal. So kind of cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not really concerned with the locking part of this blade, because when you're using it, you're going to be putting force on it that's going to prevent it from, you know, trying to come undone anyway. I think it's what it has right now is more than enough, and I think it's going to work just fine. I also appreciate that window breaker right next to the edge right there. That's a nice touch.
Right. Quite a few tools in here. Needle cutter, quarters cutter, wire twist. So pretty cool tool. Have you seen the video of that chick?
Yes. Yeah, I have. Actually, it was that tool's been out for a while, and the first time I saw the video, it was years ago, man. I would have to say like possibly 2 years ago, and I liked the video. Honestly, kind of got me pumped up about buying this tool. I just never had, because I think it was one of those YouTube videos where it was like 5 axes you can't live without, you know, and that was just one of them. So yeah, so my ADD kicked in and I just completely forgot about it. But no, it's my thoughts watching that video was like, crap, I need to have this thing. It looks really cool. I liked all the options on it, and what do you know, BattlBox pulls it off, and now I have one. So I'm very glad about that. The video is actually pretty cool too. I mean, in a comedic kind of a way. But yeah, I'm all about this axe.
Yeah, totally. I had never seen the video. Okay, so here's a little secret. I had heard about the video for a while. The video resurfaced, I think, discussion on it resurfaced once we knew that this was going to be an item in the box. And people started talking about it, and this lady named Tracy that's in there and all that stuff. Well, I didn't watch the video. I don't know why. Just didn't get around to it. And then I made a comment about Tracy being infamous, because she was kind of infamous on the BattlBox forums in my video review of this that I posted a couple days ago. One of the comments was from MJ, and he put, that's your future wife. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I better go watch the video, you know what I mean? Turns out she's freaking smoking hot, and she's a badass. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll take her, you know? Anyways.
No, yeah, it's I think it's an interesting video, you know, not just from the not just from that side, not from the eye candy side, but also just they just put in a lot of production time into it. I mean,
Yeah, all
they
the
found a way
stuff.
to display everything, almost everything, most of the things on the tool, as well as your future wife. And
Yep.
no, it definitely a good deal, man. I've enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. So really cool tool. I'm stoked to have it. This was your knife of the month. It's not a knife. So if that gets your panties in a bunch, you missed the fact that this was a badass fucking box. I really don't know what anybody could complain about with this box. I'm sure they're having complaints just because you could give
The world.
you could give people a gold bar and they bitch that they don't have a bag to carry it in. You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah, some people could start a fight in an empty room, that's for sure. And somebody will. Somebody's bound to do it.
Right. So any final thoughts on Mission 28?
Final thoughts. I love it, man. I think it's a great, very, it's right up my alley. That's what I do. That's what I love. I love tactical. I love EDC. I love anything that gives you an ability to fight. And this box, man, it just completely did it for me. Every item on in this box is of great quality. It's very useful items, very well put together, with the exception of those bottle opening abilities on those pry bars. But other than that, it's a home run, 100%, 100% home run for me. I mean, the ready-made cards, the backpack, everything. I can't find anything bad about it. So that's just my humble opinion, though.
Okay, so my opinion about the box overall is that is just a success. One of the most requested themes in a long time. I think the basic box, you guys made out like bandits if you sign up for the basic. And I have always said that subscription level is probably the best bang for the bucks in the subscription box world, especially those that go after guys, target guys. The basic $25 box, you know, 9 times out of 10, you're just gonna get overwhelmed with value. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if anybody doesn't subscribe that's watching this and you want to get an idea of what BattlBox is about, the basic box is the place to start if you don't want to commit to, you know, $50, $100, or $150. So something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. Especially in this particular mission, the basic level was just ridiculous. I mean, I would have been happy with just that, to be honest with you, but I've been a Pro Plus subscriber for a reason for all those years.
Yeah, get a lot of cool stuff being a Pro Plus subscriber. Here's an old knife. Maybe you can tell me what mission this was from. This was a former knife of the month.
Oh yeah, that's the Sock Seal, and I think that was I want to say mission 11.
I think that sounds about right.
Yeah. Wait, 11 or 14? Crap. Yeah, I told you, man. I got great memory, but it's short.
Yeah, I can't remember what was in which one. And there's a couple dudes on the forum that are like freaking BattlBox encyclopedias where you're like, hey, what mission was that from? And they can kick it out. And you're just like, that's freaking amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I used to be able to, I was pretty good with that up until like mission 15, 16. And then after that, I was just like, wow, my freaking data bank is just getting, it's getting overflown with all this information. I had to, I guess, let go of some of it. So I was doing pretty good though for a longest while.
Yeah, totally. So, in case everybody doesn't know, anybody who's watching this, Southern Gunner, he is, I'd say, infamous on Instagram. How many followers do you have on Instagram now? Like 10,000?
No. It's 5,500 right now at the
Oh,
moment.
just 5,500. Okay, that's nothing. The dude does some really cool stuff on Instagram. Amazing photos, photo reviews, a lot of photo reviews of subscription boxes and other cool items. I heard about the lever gear tool card through Southern Gunner. Picked one of those up. I really dig that thing. He does a lot of live hangouts, live streams on Instagram, and you're a huge cigar aficionado, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's actually funny you mentioned the live broadcast. So basically, on every Wednesday, typically, unless something comes up, 8:30 Texas time. Here's a shameless plug. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Texas time, what I do is kind of like a live broadcast for updates about Southern Gunner business, from the week. And then if there's a box or some kind of an item to go over, I'll do that. Like I'm planning to do BattlBox in the next Wednesday's edition, and then the entire show ends with smoking a cigar. It's kind of like the cigar of the week situation, and people often ask me, what am I smoking, and do I like it? Do I recommend it? And it's something that happens on Wednesdays. But I think if you go through my Instagram, you'll see a lot of cigar reviews, and they're not like written in a language where somebody new to cigars wouldn't be able to understand. I kind of try to stay away from that because there's already just a ton of people writing reviews for cigars in a way that only aficionados or only people of that knowledge would understand. But there's really nobody out there that's just saying it, hey, dude, it's good because it's, sweet, peppery, or sugary, or whatever the case might be. And it smokes very well. And these are the characteristics. People have to be sort of kind of brought into it without feeling like they're being almost like bullied by the good old boys crowd. Not that that's the case, but it's just, as a fresh cigar smoker, when I was just starting out, and I would try to read a review, it would just bombard me with glossary that I had no idea about. And it kind of would turn me off in a way because, you have to research so much and figure this out.
Right. And I can appreciate that. Sometimes I wonder if I get a little too technical in some of my reviews of certain things. I don't think I do. I try to keep my vernacular, fucking college word, score. I try to keep that, fairly, consistent and, not too technical because I'm just a regular dude, right? And that's the people that I want to talk to. I'm not talking to, when I do like a shooter's loot unboxing, I'm not talking to the operators out there. I'm talking to the regular guys who have guns that like to go shooting or hunting or whatever. And same with BattlBox. You could talk all day about solar stills on some of these, YouTube channels that are into prepping. And I'd be like, okay. All right. You know what I mean? So that's not my gig. You know what I mean? My gig's just keep.
Right. Absolutely. No. And that's the whole thing, man. The aficionado can look at my review and he may think that I may be a noob, so to speak. And that's fine. Cause by no means are my credentials out there with the best of them. Basically the way it happens is, my taste buds have an opinion and I'm just going to express it in a way that I like to express it in.
Right.
And it happens to be in a simpler manner, so to speak, where everybody can understand what I'm trying to say,
Yeah, that's cool. So everybody, I will have links to Southern Gunner's Instagram, his YouTube channel. You should subscribe to that. But follow him on Instagram and also his website. And back in your background, I can see one of those arrow tags. I placed an order last night when we were hanging out.
Oh yeah,
hanging up there.
yeah, that's it. That's correct. That's actually let me grab it real quick. That was the original design. When they first came out, I did a small run of these, and what these are air fresheners. They're made out of just a slab of wood and hang off on a string, and they're pretty much submerged in fragrance oils. Just a very untypical item, and it really caught my eye when I first saw it. So I immediately placed an order for some of them with my logo on it. And I did a couple of giveaways with these, and I've given some of them away to people that wanted to kind of do their own giveaways and just kind of, mention me on there. But they were very popular. People were asking about them constantly, and I finally was able to place a more, a little bit bigger of an order. And I ended up also redesigning them and also adding another design to them. So
yeah, this is
that's the best seller, to be honest with you. This one is I actually did a poll on Instagram of which one people liked the most, and the original design got the least amount of scores. This one though, that's the one that took it. And some people, they prefer them to be simple, so I'm still kind of offering this one at the same time. Initials. And these I only have one scent right now, which is a sandalwood, and it's just because it's the most popular one, and a lot of people like sandalwood, myself included. I think it's one of my favorite ones, right next to vanilla maybe. But so I see some people asking how much are they. Right now I'm selling these for $10 a piece, and there's a flat shipping fee of $3. But if you order 3 of these, I'll waive the shipping, and that'll just make it an even 30. So order more than 3, or 3 or more, and shipping will be free. Now, you may only have 1 car or 2 cars, but I have one of these in my bathroom, and let me tell you, it's amazing. Forget about lighting a match, bro. Let me just do that.
That's funny. I got a few of those coming, and at least one of them is going to make it into a big, humongous giveaway thingy that I'm going to be doing here in about a month. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so that's cool. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? We're at an hour 20, about hour 10. So we should start wrapping it up. If anybody has any questions for either Southern Gunner or myself, just shout them out right now, and we can answer them. Or if you want to talk about anything in particular, just let us know.
Well, one thing to mention about these arrow tags is they are made in America by American hands. I know the guy personally.
America.
Well, not that I've met him. We talk a whole lot. We ended up becoming sort of pretty close friends over time that we've been doing these things. And so yeah, they're made in America by an American hand. And if you want one, you can sort of hit me up on Instagram and slide into them DMs, as they say, or find a way to get a hold of me either on the forums, BattlBox forums, or if you want to find me on Facebook or anywhere. I'm in all those places, and it's always Southern Gunner. You type that in, you're gonna find me. Just look for that logo, and let me know what you want and how much you want, and we'll take care of you, man.
So Zach, he will take your order through Instagram. So just DM him, send him a direct message, and through Instagram or the forum, and yeah, that's how you can order one. Here's a question for you: can you grow facial hair?
Yeah, I can actually, and the reason I don't is because I want to remain being called Southern Gunner instead of Southern Santa. I was blessed with I was blessed an early gray beard, and I, not that I have anything against gray beards. It's just I think at the ripe age of 38, I'd rather just kind of pretend that it's still brown underneath all that, and I'm just not trying to show it off.
There you go.
So yes, I can, in fact, and believe me, there are lazy weeks, or like when the November comes, and we're doing the whole no shave November. It's you're gonna see it. You're gonna see all the gray, and absolutely.
I've got a little bit of gray right in here. I got gray all over actually. But anyways, I got a good patch right there going. But what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? I ain't gonna dye it. I mean, I ain't no frou-frou dude. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, well, it's kind of like a modern thing nowadays, just to put color on everything that you're not happy with. So, screw it. I could get there and dye it, but my fear is I'm probably gonna either burn my skin, or just end up doing something stupid with it. So I just didn't bother. And
hey, here's another question. Here's another question. Do you actually need all them bottle openers? If so, how do you afford all that good beer? I can open a beer with just about anything. I'm pretty experienced. A lighter, that's a great beer bottle opener. Shoot, you name it, I can probably open a beer with it. And yeah, like I said, pretty experienced opening beer. So, but it's always nice to have a true bottle opener so that you don't have to mess up your lighter or one of your knives or something like that. So,
yeah, and it's funny because I talk about all these bottle openers and make a big deal out of it. I just like to have them, but to be honest with you, my choice bottle opener is my lighter. It just makes a very satisfying thunk when I open it.
Right. The tosses that cap up in the air.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that just kind of gives me that freedom boner, and I love doing it every time. So, so I actually end up using my lighter a whole lot, but I think that some tools are just not tactical enough unless they have a bottle opener. So.
Have you seen those flip-flops that have the bottle opener built into the sole?
No, I have not. You've got to be kidding.
Those exist. I actually used to have a pair. Have you tried Warfighter tobacco cigars?
No, I have not actually. I've yet to have a taste of them, and they've been out there for a while. I know they exist. I have them. I added them on my Instagram, and I'd like to come around to trying them out, but I have not yet, and I kind of feel bad. They are a veteran business, but I'm eventually going to give them a try for sure.
Is that Matt Best's one of his adventures?
Oh, it could be. I can't keep up with Matt Best anymore, dude. He's got his hands in everything, and it seems. But it very well may be, and because it's it just seems to be in that circle of I guess companies or characters. You have the Black Rifle Coffee, the Art 15, and then you have your Warfighter and Lead Slinger and all that stuff. So it seems like it's in that that it's a possibility that he's got his hands in it. But like I said, I'm definitely mean to try them out very soon.
Okay, Brandon Curran, 1776, in case you guys don't know who that is. If you don't know who Curran 1776 is and you're a BattlBox subscriber, I mean, I don't know how that could happen. Personally, he followed up on that and said, no, Rocco is a part owner, only one in that circle that is. So that's interesting.
Oh.
Ruthless Redneck just asked a question. Following up with Curran's question, what cigars do you recommend that won't destroy your wallet?
Oh, well, if you know, it really depends on how much of a cigar smoker you are, but I'm guessing he may not be as much of one at this point, hence asking that question. The safe brand, which is actually called Tatwahi, and they have a whole line of cigars, and they go from smaller prices, you know, starting off with like I think $4 to $5, all the way up to you know, some 20s and 30s. But there are brands out. And that particular brand makes one that's called the Tattoo, and actually I could probably just bring one out. Let me just go ahead and do that real quick.
Yeah, sounds good. So I was out fishing today, and I've been catching a bunch of freaking small fish lately, and I'm doing 2 tournaments right now. I'm just talking, it's just us right now talking. And I don't need to catch small fish for these tournaments. I need to catch nice fish, and I just haven't been catching good fish lately. Today was the first fish that I caught in the last, or from my kayak. I've caught some big fish actually from the bank recently, but this was the first fish that I caught from the kayak that was over 3 pounds. It was a 4.5 pounder, and it was just a great fight. It got me, I was feeling kind of in the dumps about my kayak fishing, I guess. I don't know. And it just got me amped up. And as soon as we're done with this, I'm going back out, hitting the water again. And I'm just stoked about that. So it was nice to catch a good fish finally. Anyways, awesome. So show us what you got.
So here's the first one. I'm hoping that, let me see if I can zoom in so I can be sure that you're getting the right zoom. So this is a Tatwahi, and it means tattoo. This is a very safe cigar. It's kind of like a mild-bodied, which is, you know, on the lower end of the harsh taste cigar. Very good. Also from the same brand is a Fausto Esteli. Okay, also a very good flavor to it that most people can enjoy without, you know, without being anything less than kind of like casual smokers. They can handle that. All these are going for like $5 to $6, you know, which is very manageable. And that brand in particular, you know, it's one of my favorites. It's something that I'm always gonna have in my humidor. But if you're, the one thing I can recommend is do not discount cheap cigars as bad cigars. A lot of people starting out think so, and that's just not true. Just because a cigar doesn't cost as much as, you know, your Cohiba or anything like that, you know, it doesn't make it a bad one. It's just I've had very good luck with cheaper cigars, and I like a lot of them. So the thing you gotta look out for is, you know, how much of a flavor is in that cigar. So if you pick up a cigar and it says $10 and it's like super dark brown, which is called Maduro, and you're a beginning smoker, and you put that in and light it up, you're probably not gonna like smoking cigars from that point on. You want to make sure that no matter what, you start off looking for something that is mild to medium bodied, so that you're not just assaulted with all of that peppery kind of a flavor that comes with those Maduros. So that's the first thing to watch out for. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody was claiming that that was a fish story, my fish story. So I'm gonna see. And this is not a huge fish by any means, but we're gonna see if I can show it on here. Let's see. So it was nice and fat, 4.5 pounder right there. That's it. Look at that.
It looks like you stretched that photo out, though. Are you sure?
Oh shit! Come on now.
Did you zoom in really much, or?
Well, no, I had to take a picture on my bump board for this tournament. It goes by inches. That's what she said.
That's not bad, right? Yeah. My fishing experience, or my fishing adventures were recently just kind of like up to minimum. I've done a lot of fishing as a kid. I've done way more fishing as a kid. You know, nowadays if I go out, you know, beyond like the creek at my parents, close to my parents' house, beyond that, it's been years since I've been on a serious fishing trip. So it's something I'd like to do more of, but I have so many hobbies already that take up, you know, a lot of my my funds that, you know, getting into another one might just put me out of some sort of it just might put me out of business, man, because it's, you know,
Right.
It takes some money to make that happen.
Right. I was using a spinnerbait, Zach. What do you light your cigars with?
I am not a typical cigar smoker. I can really go with a cigar and anything from beer to even a soda, but typically it's I kind of fall in with my routine. So in the morning time, I'm definitely having it with coffee, and I don't really try to pair them up in flavors. I kind of look at it as, if I'm not gonna like that pairing, I'm gonna know about it and probably not do it again and try to figure something out that's gonna work. And you know, later on in the evening, it's just whatever, man. Like if I'm drinking vodka or bourbon or whiskey or beer, I adopt the same technique. Like if I'm not gonna like it, I'm not gonna do it again. But
Right.
yeah.
What do you light, like flame wise? Are you one of the hardcore people that you use like a match, or do you use like a special lighter? What do you light it with? A candle?
No, what I do is I take that knife that we got from Bushcrafters, and I grab, you know, the Bushcraftsman box and a twig, and I try to start a fire
with the fucking bow drill.
And then I just shove that cherry out on top of that son of a bitch and go. Now, I've been for the longest time, I've been a biggest fan of matches, and I used to talk shit about people that use lighters. And recently, my friend was like, you know what? Just shut up and use a freaking lighter. I'm tired of you bitching about not having any matches or anything like that. So I tried it, and before we were done, I walked out of that store with a freaking lighter in my pocket. So now, you know, I do use it more often, but if I have the time, yeah, lighter. But it's a, you know, it's a propane torch lighter.
Oh, okay.
It's not just like a Bic or whatever. It's got the, you know, dual or triple kind of a situation, or a decent single at least.
Gotcha.
And I use that a lot more now because, you know, it's time saving, and it's easier to fix up the runs on a cigar with a lighter rather than messing around with a match and just trying to even it out to get your foot to be the same exact width, all, you know, throughout the entire cigar. So yeah, he kind of converted me. Fine.
Sorry. I interrupted you. Have you ever charged? Fuck, I can't talk now. Have you ever tried a Victor St. Clair?
A Victor St. Clair? No, I can't say that I have.
Okay.
No, is that one of the questions?
Yeah, that was a question of Victor
No, I
Sinclair.
haven't.
All right. Well, that's your answer. I'm not much of a cigar smoker. I tried getting into it, and maybe that's what happened to me. Maybe I just had one that was just what I would classify as harsh, and you would probably classify as really a good one. And I just started off without, hitting that mild phase, if that makes any sense.
Right. That's the best way to start. I mean, just for me, the Maduros, which is the spicier cigars, that wasn't a thing for me for the longest time. That was something that I acquired once I got over, like, okay, well, I've been through the milds and mediums, and it feels like I can go further. So I just hell yeah, there you go. So I've just tried to experiment with some of the Maduros, and right now I'm at a point where I can pretty much get into anything and be happy. So yeah, it's starting off. You may not even like that kind of a spice hitting you, because it gives you a really big tingle at first, and if you're not used to it, you're gonna be like, oh crap, it's just, and you're gonna give it a bad name for no reason.
Right.
It's something to work up to.
What's the most expensive cigar you've ever smoked? How much and what was it?
Well, I've been through a fair round of Cubans. I've pretty much tried most of the Cubans that are that are in the public eye. You got your Cohibas and Partagas and some Monte Cristos, and those typically run between like 25 to 30, 35 maybe sometimes. Of course, you got your Opus X, which is not from Cuba, but it's one of the best cigars out there, and those typically cost a bit of money. And Prometheus got a fire. Those are in between 20s and 30s in range. Very good cigars, but they're all economically impaired, so not very often do I indulge. And I don't have to. Like I said, there's a bunch of those cigars out there. There's a lot of cigars out there that are in a very affordable range. I typically, on average, I'll spend about $8 on a cigar, and this is like my happy zone.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. All right. Well, we're like at an hour and 40 minutes. We should probably wrap things up. Thank you for hanging out with me today, dude. I really appreciate it. And everybody who watched, thank you guys for hanging out. If you could do both of us a favor and like this video, smash that like button. It does help. Really appreciate it when you guys do that. Head over to Southern Gunner. Links are in the description once this thing goes from live to just a posted video. Links will be in the description where you can find him. Yeah, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by to everybody who did. And thanks, Southern Gunner, for hanging out. If this is something that you would like to see us do semi-frequently, maybe not monthly, but maybe every other month, where we hang out and talk about a box that we just got, let us know. We talked about that a little bit last night, maybe doing this somewhat frequently. We could do that. So yeah, let us know. Anything you want to add, buddy?
Yeah, just when you get to my the best way to get a hold of me, guys, is to find me on YouTube, and every description of every video that I put out there has all my links embedded into it. So from there, you can pretty much find me everywhere and catch me outside of YouTube, so to speak. But sorry about that. I had to do it. Other than that, thank you so much for showing up, everybody. And it's been a real pleasure talking to you and discussing BattlBox and other randomness as it came by. I appreciate all the questions, and I hope to see you guys, on my Instagram or YouTube or whatever else as well. Chris is a great guy. Wanted to say that right here and right now before before we wrap it up, I just really appreciate you having me on and hosting me on this broadcast. And it's just been a great pleasure. And if you guys want us really to do this, and on the more sort of a solid basis where it happens, like he said, every month or every 2 months, definitely let us know. I'd be happy to. It's been fun. I definitely would like to do it again.
Yeah, it was good. And thank you for those kind words. Much appreciated. We do need to get you on the Outfox with Bourbon show. Somebody did mention that a little bit ago. So, you know, we'll chat, Gray Fox and John and I. It seems like it'd be pretty fun to have you come on and just chat about, you know, your life and what you're into and stuff like that. So if you guys don't know what Outfox with Bourbon is, you're freaking crazy and you need to figure it out. Just search in YouTube for Outfox with Bourbon. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up. Everybody, thank you for watching and hanging out, and we'll chat with you later.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Chris.
Yep. Bye.